365 Days of Horsemanship, day 275. As you can hear, my voice is worse today, which is really a bummer. But I actually had quite a nice session with the horses today. I am still feeling kind of crummy, kind of tired, and I came up today with the intention of doing Mia's plats, which I did, and that was actually really nice. She was still in the little pen, so I just brought her up to the yard. And yeah, actually they took me only about an hour and a half, which is pretty good for me. I definitely think that we didn't lose that much either, which was really nice. They've not been done in over a week, so they looked kind of messy, but actually hair loss was like really negligible. So I'm like super into the not using any products thing now, because I definitely think when there was more products, then there was more breakage. But also it might be because I'm leaving the plats longer now, and I do also think that's helping, so who knows. Anyway, it was good. She definitely found it a little challenging, and I would say that maybe the theme of today for both horses is just, and probably myself, is sometimes life is just tough and we got to do tough things and tough it out. She really was like antsy, and everyone's super itchy. The weather's amazing, but of course that means that the midges are out. Lawrence especially, God bless his soul, was super itchy, and Mia was really itchy too. She wanted to itch herself, like itch her tail on the stables, and that's just like a thing that can't be a thing. So whenever that would happen, I would just start doing hindquarter yields on a little semicircle, just each way until there was some learning or change of focus. And I think I was really mindful to keep my energy really playful. Like, it's not like, oh, for goodness sake, like you went to scratch yourself, now I have to move you, like a punishment, but like, oh, let's play that game. I could play that game. Just like having that energy about me, that body language, I think kept it really just light and fun. And I think she learned a lot more from it, rather than feeling like I was punishing her. There was one time when I did have to kind of defend my space, when I went to ask for the yield, and I know she knows what that means, and she pushed right back into me pretty hard, and at that point I was like, but I feel good about that, because I think, again, like that's a safety thing. And yeah, actually after some time she really settled into a nice place eating the hay, and I think I just got really lucky with the timing, because she does go through these cycles when we're doing the plats, and sometimes like she'll get through this periods of high stress, she's really bored, and then she'll go much more chill and sort of resting, more comfortable. And if I finish there, obviously that's the good place to finish, right? But sometimes I miss the timing because I've got a few more plats to do, but today it worked out really well. She actually nickered as I was untying her, which was really nice. Yeah, I definitely also kind of feel the same about my life at the moment. So I was like chatting to her about my life, free therapy, and took her into the arena and had lovely about 25 minutes just doing freedom-based work. There was one piece of insistent leadership which I used around poking her head through the bottom of the fence to eat the long grass, because we could just spend the whole session doing that. We don't really want to encourage it as a behaviour, and so I'm quite happy with becoming very active. And I don't ever want to chase her off it, but what I do is I just like bounce really vigorously around her withers and around her neck, which like really quickly she's like, that is super unpleasant, and then she'll move off and I'll stop. And so basically it's just building the association with like, well, we can practice the bouncing game. If you want to walk, if you want to eat grass while I bounce, that's fine. But of course she doesn't want to eat grass while I bounce, because she doesn't want me to bounce. So that kind of works quite well. But yeah, otherwise it was quite a nice session actually. I feel like I'm really rusty, which is really frustrating. And I'm just having to do some big acceptance on things just being the way that they are. I feel like I was in such a good place mentally when I came back from Elsa's, and I was so focused and I had such a good like daily mindset of feeling really present. And then I think going to my nan's and everything that happened with that, I think just like understandably just really like frazzled me. And I remember when I first went there, definitely did a couple of posts about how frustrated I was that I wasn't with the horses, and that was when I was thinking I was going to be there for 2 weeks, you know, rather than the like pretty much 6 or 7 weeks that I was actually there. Excuse me. And I think Horse Lucy just got a little bit lost somewhere. Like she sort of had to just take a back seat, and now it's like so much stuff has happened, you know, like I came back, then I went away to Poland, and there was so much wedding planning going on, and now it's like, oh my God, wedding. And then it's like, I've got this whole other thing in my brain that I've got to make space for, and just feeling super overwhelmed with like all of the tasks and all of the different things that are on my mind, and hours in the day and everything. And so yeah, I think that just refinding Horse Lucy is just going to be a process, and it's really good for my really good for my patience. It's really good to tame my wild. You know, the wild Lucy that wants everything right now. To bring myself back to the present day, what I can achieve today, who I am today to the horses. I think it's going to be a really valuable journey, like going back to where I was really consciously, because I think a lot of what happened at Elsa's was like a feel. And I think a lot of it was a feel of like doing and being and just being around that mindset. And now it's like I've got to try to recreate that mindset for myself, and that's definitely a challenge. But also I think it's going to be a really, really great journey, because I'll really understand the journey from where I feel now, which is much more like Lucy who panics. It's like, oh my God, we're back at square one, everything's like difficult, crazy, and I don't know what's going on. And I've just got to like, okay, just calm, just breathe, just one day at a time. And yeah, I think it's going to be really good. I had a really nice session with Mia today, and I think what's really motivating is that I can do things that I couldn't do before. And my feel and timing somewhat is like riding a bike. I haven't lost loads of stuff. I've just lost, I think, the attitude of myself and the ability to be present with it. And I think that will come back. And just putting problems on the shelf, you know, like that's something that's not easy for me. You know, and I went through a whole period training myself to put things on the shelf and be more patient and take things day by day. And then I threw it all out the window out of necessity to try and do everything each day, because that was what was needed, you know, for my family at that time. And now to come back again, having sort of reinforced all of my old patterns and try to restart all of the things that were tricky, having just spent a long time not really doing those things, is, yeah, just a real gear shift. But I was really happy with today's session. We had some lovely draws. We had some lovely draws of focus. We had some lovely time together. She was really interested. She was really connected. And it was just a good opportunity because where she's in the little pen, there's more desire to be with me because she's more stressed and she's more bored. So me saying, should we go into the arena and like, you can do whatever you want pretty much except this one thing that I don't want you to do, and I'll just hang out with you. Like, that's a much more attractive prospect than when she's in the field grazing with her friends and I say, do you want to come up to the arena with me? Like, you know, training is all about, it's not comparison, it's about like difference, variation. It's like one thing versus another thing, like which thing, comparison maybe, there's a better word I'm thinking of. But today is a great day to have being in the arena be the easy task, and to set it up like that, and to easily find a way to put money in the bank. And definitely like going with that flow is something that I think is really important for me to get back to. Like, I was really cultivating going with the flow, and then I spent a period of time like deliberately and consciously going against the flow, and trying to just get things done, you know, create my own flow. And now it's like reminding myself to get back into that mindset is really, really good. I was really pleased with the session. I was really pleased with the fact it was 25 minutes. You know, I felt like just, it's a silly little thing, like me timing my sessions as if the amount of time is somehow the value, but that's the human brain, I guess. Popped up to see Lawrence, who, gosh bless his soul, is having a terrible day with the Mijas. And again, it was another situation of realizing, like Mia with the plaits, like, I'm sorry, buddy, I can't help you with this. Like, and of course he wants the scratches. Of course. And it was just like not the first time, but like a rare time for me to really understand like my desire to fix everything all the time. It kind of sets us up for failure, sets me up for failure, because I can't fix everything all the time. There is no amount of scratching I could give him today that is going to solve this problem. The midges are going to keep coming, his skin's going to keep hurting, and he's going to keep wanting scratches. And with that being the case, there's not going to get to a point where I'm going to be able to scratch him so much that he doesn't want any more scratches. And so I'm better off just not getting involved in that game, and actually also teaching him that yes, it's uncomfortable, we just need to put it on the shelf, and that's okay. And that feels like a hard thing for me, like mentally. I feel guilty about like forcing him to like not be okay by not helping him, but also ultimately I think it's like that resilience, and also helping him to build his own coping mechanisms, because he feels uncomfortable, and it's like, okay, well, what are we gonna do about it? Like, I can't help you by scratching you, but I can help you by helping you to notice and remember every moment that you are distracted by a different focus. And so that's what I kind of started doing, and I really only did it a couple of times because I was so tired. And I'd done like, been with Mia for like 2 hours. And so when I found a good moment where he got distracted by the environment and by playing with the hay with his nose, I was like, cool, that's a good moment to leave, because I just wanted to really reinforce that moment of distraction. I wasn't sure when I was going to get another one. I wasn't sure how long it was going to take, how bad my timing was going to get. So I went with the flow and just left it there. But I feel good about it. I do feel really good about it. I feel like there were good lessons learned today. I feel like I worked with what I had in myself and got really good outcomes. And yeah, it's all on the up. I think it's all on the up. Yeah, I'm so appreciative for the weather. Oh my goodness, it's the best thing in the world to me that it's like 7:30 right now. Like, that's amazing. Like, that makes me so happy. I just wish that it could be like this all year round. Like, oh, it's so nice for me, like with the shift work and with how busy my life is, to just really be able to pretty much choose the time that I can come here, rather than like constantly having this pressure of like when the sun is gonna be up is so nice. I love this time of year for that, and the weather's just gorgeous today. So yeah, so it's been a good one. My throat definitely is rough, but yeah, I mean, things happen, right? You get sick, I guess. I'm tired of being sick. Bored of being sick. But so much to appreciate, so much to be grateful for. I'll see you guys tomorrow.